Hi friends, it's Sarah, the Canadian crafter, hopping right into the card today. This is for die number 7, which we were behind on due to my illness, and we're catching it up now. So we're going to do some blending. I love blending. I realized as I was blending, however, I had chosen a piece of Nina's Solar White, and it's the 120 pound or 110 pound, I can't remember, the thicker version versus the 80 pound. But I found that compared to the Bristol Smooth cardstock that I have been using for blending, this stuff doesn't blend well at all. This paper is kind of brutal. So next time I plan to use the Bristol and pay more attention to my paper selection. I have learned so much about paper and ink and brushes and shadow and light over the last couple years. It's a little bit mind-boggling. I honestly had no idea how much was involved in art. It's not just having talent. It's not just being able to wiggle the pen or the pencil in the right way. There's a lot of knowledge included in it. Light source was one of the biggest issues I had. Learning to compensate and allow for it was a mission for sure. But happily, I'm starting to understand it and be able to apply it a bit better. I have a pencil crayon coloring that I'm working on, a really pretty flower stamp from Wendy Vichy. And it's mostly done, but I'd like to finish it off on camera so that you guys can watch the coloring. I don't know if anyone else is kind of a coloring freak, but there's something about watching people color that just pleases me. It itches one of those weird scratches that you don't really realize you have until it gets itched, and then it's like, oh yeah, I liked that. So I really enjoy watching people color. And maybe it's the whole art thing because I'm still so amazed by it. Now that I understand a bit more about it, it's become a science, something that can be learned rather than a talent that has to be inherited through God and good genetics. But I'm, for a guy who could not draw a convincing stick man if he were paid and his life was on the line, or her life was on the line, sorry, I've come a long way. I am blessed with a very nimble math mind. Math, I love it. I love constants, not a big fan of variables, but I'm finding that there's certain parts of art that are constants and not variables, and understanding and applying those constants and principles actually makes me better at art. I learned how to do this part here by using different colors and the hues of the colors to make the sunset bright along the horizon because the sun is setting down there, and lighter and brighter towards the top of the sky because the sunlight is filtered due to the distance away, and it would just be lighter and maybe a little bit pink because of the chemicals in the atmosphere causes the sunlight to filter in different colors. Ha! There's a piece of science for you. Oh dear, crafting and science. There we go. Oh, I've crossed a line somewhere, I'm sure. There's math people in the world rolling over in their graves right now. Anyways, if I'm not controversial, then I'm just not fun. So we're continuing on with the blending here. We're almost done. And now to remind you guys, if I hadn't already noted, die number 7 is the little sailboat die. It took me a little while to figure out what to do with it. I am not a big nautical guy, but I am a huge fan of water. Every time I see water stamps or water dyes, I buy them. I don't know what it is. It's like my passion with coffee related stuff. Anything coffee, I have to own it. I don't know why. It just triggers that little part of me that's like, oh, you must have that. And I can't sleep, breathe, or eat till I have it. And then once I have something, I generally don't ever think about it again. I think there's something wrong with me. Either that or it's all about the hunt for me, and then once I obtain the prey, I kind of lose interest. I don't know. I think that's an awful quality, to be honest. But sadly, it is the truth of my character, and I really enjoy acquiring things. I enjoy the anticipation of waiting for it to come in the mail. I enjoy the process of picking stuff out. I enjoy shopping around for better prices. I enjoy trying to figure out if there's something I can use instead of said item that has my attention. And then there's sometimes some things just plague my mind to the point where it's the only thing I can think about until I obtain it. Currently, Catherine Pooler inks are on my list. And Jenny, I know that you were teaching me about the Gina K inks, and I really appreciate it. However, Catherine Pooler sent me a stamp pad, and I have used it. And Jenny, oh my God, hun, if you have not used her ink, you must try it. It is different from anything I have ever used. And maybe Gina K is the exact same idea as hers. I don't know. I've never used any of Gina K's dye inks before. I only have the black amalgam ink for my Copic stamping. Well, as if I have Copics. I have alcohol markers, let's be real. I cannot bring myself to spend $10 a marker. It just doesn't compute in my world. So until someone bequeaths a bunch of awesome Copics onto me, it's going to be alcohol markers of various brands and qualities. But the ones that I have, I'm happy with. I use the Artezas are on my list. I would like to get the 120 pack of the Arteza alcohol markers. I'd like to try them. My friend Christine Smith from Crafty Potential channel, she has them, and she really, really likes them. She says they're not quite Copics, but the blending of the ink is really, really nice and seamless. And I just like the sound of them, and they're inexpensive, especially when they go on sale. And if I can get inexpensive quality, I am all over that. So, okay, I've found a stamp finally. I had wandered off to go find a stamp for this card because I needed, of course, a nautical sentiment. And I happened to have this cute little stamp set from the Stamps of Life. And this one says, "You are unsinkable," which I thought was a cute little sentiment for our sparkly golden ship here. I guess this would be an encouragement card for somebody. I may give it to myself. Oh, man. Life is just really unnecessarily difficult sometimes. The things we go through, the processes we endure for growth and change are kind of mind-blowing. And I'm going through a huge growth and change phase right now. And it's not entirely comfortable, and I don't exactly like it. I'm very poor. I'm not able to buy everything I want, darn it, and it drives me crazy. However, this does give me the opportunity to actually use all of the stuff I have. I don't like to admit this, but I will tell you guys because I'm sure at least somebody out there has the same problem. But when I was working, I would buy stuff all the time. Like every single paycheck, I would say at least half of my paycheck went to crafty stuff. And yeah, that's embarrassing, isn't it? But anyways, so I acquired a whole big bunch of stuff over the course of 2 years. And I think I must have about a third of everything I own has never been out of the package, let alone utilized. So through this dry spell of financial stuff going on and the lack of spending, I am going to be using a lot of stuff I've never used before, which makes me happy because now I don't feel like a big wasty spender. And secondly, I bought those things because I like them. I don't buy stuff just because. I have to actually be attracted to it on one level or another. And the stuff I got is nice. And I want to play with it now. So I'm kind of grateful for this period of non-buying. I still have a couple of kits I'm subscribed to, which will continue. Especially my tonic card kit. I am addicted to those. So addicted. And when you pay for it quarterly, you're only paying $32 or $33 a kit, which works out to right about now, we're probably about $47 with the exchange rate. And that's still really not bad, considering you get an amazing die set, you get a whole bunch of nouveau stuff, some beautiful, beautiful paper that you'll never use, because if you're anything like me, using pretty paper is a cardinal sin in crafting. I really don't know how the Lord feels about it, but I have a feeling he would want us to not use it and save it for very, very special occasions because, you know, God crafts. I'm sure of it. Jesus owns a Misty. Let's not kid ourselves. All right, I'm sorry, guys. If that was sacrilegious and offended anyone, I apologize. I just believe that God has a sense of humor and he knows my heart and knows where it's coming from. And hopefully he's chuckling with me and not plotting consequences. All right, well, there's our card all finished. I hope you enjoyed this run through. The blending worked out really nicely. I'm very happy with how it came out. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry I chatted your ear off about random stuff, but that's what happens. If you're new, please subscribe. Hit that... notification bell. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.